What's up, guys? Legacy Card Gaming here. Today we gonna show you the deck profile from Alpay Engin, who ended up top 4 at the LLDS stage 2 from Germany,
Yeah,
and won this nice match.
yeah, we also split in the top 4, so everyone got a lot of money for the maneuver, so we were all fine for it.
Sexy.
Sexy as fuck. Okay, so I played Metalfoe. I want to try out this deck, even though I hate pendulum decks in general, but the deck seems so consistent, so I tried it out. So it's like the full Metalfoe monsters, 3 of each. Like, you always want to have some Metalfoes, because if you have no Metalfoes, your hand is a bricky one. But if you have some Metalfoes, you can just start your engine going with all your pendulum summons, and yeah, it's just a must. This is like pure consistency. And obviously from Premium Cool 1 Green.
Of course.
Yes.
Best card.
Yes, yeah, incredible good discards. Like one of the best cards so far. Yeah, double eccentric. Like eccentric is fine at 3 because you can pop your own combinations to get any of your Metalfoes. Especially like the low scales, because you have much less low scales as high scales.
This also works well against strike.
Yeah, like you can pop anything like strikes and then freezer. You can make like Rampult or Break Sword if you play Rampult, but I don't play. It's not great, but Break Sword's great. So it's pretty good. Also Pendulum monster for Mephilium, and yes, one Draco is nuts. Like using your Metalfoe cards and then just go for Draco, destroy your Metalfoe card, scaled once again, use the effect. So you fill your extra deck, get one more Metalfoe, effect surge, and yeah, it's incredibly good.
Sure.
Also I get one Ignis on field just because of that, with the level 4 one. Only 2 Gofu, because Gofu is good if you start with him, but if you don't have it and just draw it later on, this is a bricky card, this is a bad card because you can't panel summon it, you just can special summon by its own effect. And yeah, I will show you later, because I also minimized the ratios of other cards, but 2 was perfectly fine. So double Maxi, because I love Maxi. Maxi is great. Like if you go first, I can understand that this card is weird because you can't combo with it. It's not a combo card, but I think this is necessarily because if you go opponent starts and has like Tsukuyomi, Basta stuff, it's really hard to recover because yeah, you make a lot of pluses. But if you have this one, you can gain few cards, and thanks to that, you can come back. So this card is cool. And I also play Retaining Steam as sideboard, so if I don't play it in the main deck, I need to side it, and this means I need 2 more sideboard cards to cut. And one double Kuraz.
Explain.
This card was especially for Pendulum Summon it and destroy your own combinations, fusions, Pendulum scales on. You get 2 draws, you get your fusion effect, you get your combination effect, and there's a lot of pluses. Like this card, if I Pendulum Summon 1 to other Pendulum monsters, I mostly win the game, because you make like +3 just off 1 card. And then you can continuing with going through Mephilium, reshuffle back your combination, just make like +3 for nothing, to be honest. Like
nice.
Also, like you can send it back with Mephilium to my hand and just normal summon if you don't normal summon this turn and make even more pluses. It's super good.
Agree.
Yeah, like also can outstrikes and Basta. Like if my opponent has Basta and Strike, I can just go for Kuraz, targeting Strike and Basta. So if he's activating Strike, he can't go for Basta because like Strike needs to negate and he can't chain because his spell speed 3 and Basta's only spell speed 2. So it's like Basta and Strike at one same time. Yes, mostly monsters because Pendulum deck. So spells was too painful. Like as I said, drawing multiples of these in my first turn is super bad because you can only use once per turn. So I cut it to 2. It was pretty good. Same as Desires, like 3. I can't understand the reason why people play 3, but it's really risky because if you draw like 2 or 3, you make like a lot of minus, and you don't need this card so often because you can remove all your Metalfoe cards. And yeah, you need mostly every Metalfoe card to make even better plays. So I stick on 2 was okay. Maybe a bit risky. 1 full and 1 fusion. I think that's enough. You can shuffle it back, and this can shuffle it back by Mephilium. So only 6 spells. Then I play double counter just because I play eccentric, play Kuraz. So I can pop this card, and this card is super good in the mirror match.
Yep.
Then one counter. I want to play only these 4, but I added the 5th one because I need it so often. With Kuraz you get much more Metalfoe cards, and you can also use this one if you get it.
Of course, for your resources.
Obviously, there's much more resources, and if you have no scales, you have this in graveyard, you can get 1 scale back. And also, it's really good against Paleo Frogs, because if your opponent activates any trap card, you can change it on your graveyard, so you can't use this Paleo trap card in this graveyard. This is super good. That's one of my top 8 match, I think. Yeah. So 1 emptiness, like emptiness is nuts. Won me a lot of games. 1 barrier. We had the conflict between this one, upstart, and strike or warning.
Yep.
And I prefer this one because most of the time I go just set all my Metalfoe cards and set 1 new one. So my opponents know that's a new one. So he mostly go for MST, for eccentric, and try to pop this. And like strike is bad because he can pop it out, and this is not good power because you can chain it, say something depending on my matchup. And yeah, this didn't came that really often, but this was alright. Yeah, obviously 40 cards because more than 40 is retarded. So sideboard is 3 Cyclone for Mirrors. Super good. Also against Proc and all trap decks like ABC and this stuff. Just remove the anti-spells or strikes or hangers. Then double system, also super good against ABC. So necessarily needed. Then 3 Rotating Sea. This was most likely for the mirror match and maybe for a Light Sworn for Brilliant and Instant. Like if my opponents go for fusion, I just chain the effect, get it on my board, and he needs a fusion. He loses fusion card and he loses all of his materials because they're removed. So this wrecks a lot of resources and also the fusion card, which is really important in mirror match. And then in my turn, you just can use any Metalfoe card, pop this card, set my Metal Fusion or whatever, and just get effect of it and search auto maxi. So it's a lot of pluses just with 1 card. Then for Eclipse, yeah. Like the obvious ones like ABC and the Fiends, anything like that. 2 Psi Blocker. Psi Blocker was also really good this weekend. I think I should play 3. Because like you can name whatever, like in the mirror match you can name the fusion or cyclone or whatever, what even interrupts your play. So this stops your opponent from doing the card, and you can just make you even safe. Like you go for this, call Rotating Sea, your opponent can Rotating Sea you. So in the last card was the second Metalfoe fusion, because if your opponent says Rotating Sea, you lose your 1 fusion, and yeah, obviously I'm gonna side in the second one when I go first, because when I lose the fusion I need the second one, otherwise the mirror match is so devastating and I'm going to lose for sure. This also came up a lot of times. Like one time I used my effect, set up the fusion, my opponent removed its cyclone, and I just used the another Metalfoe card and some get another fusion. So nice. That's why I won against ABC. So XLX nothing special, 1 Eclipse, 1 Void Orc was really good. Like make this once with emptiness and 1 immediately. 1 Omega never came up. No, it's not really good. One of the level 9 one. I think I used it once to destroy my own combination, but that's it, I think. It was not that great, but it was fine. So I get another scale, could pendulum summon at least something I could win, I think. Yeah, 1 totem, so good. 1 big guy, made it once in a mirror match. After I locked out his Elsh fusion, he made Mythilium. I just go for this one, get a Mythilium, shuffle another stuff back and OTK him.
Nice.
It was funny. Then, yeah, 1 swords, obvious. Yep. So like the fusion part is really huge. Double Orichalc, like Orichalc is nuts the mirror match. You need it all the time. Also the destroy effect to lure out something like strike or whatever is really good.
So you don't think 1 is enough? Yeah, you can recycle it with Mythilium.
Yeah, but sometimes Mythilium doesn't came up because the opponent has something to negate the Mythilium, so you have only 1 Orichalc then. And the second one is really good. Really great. Like mostly if I have a good board, I end with Mythilium and combination El Shadow. Just in this end phase I went for the fusion, chain combination, get this one back and Mythilium for my graveyard. Then my next one I pop it with like any Metalfoe card, destroy his background and go for a second one and OTK him in the process.
Nice.
So 1 Adamante just in case if I have like a bad hand and need to out something. It's better than nothing.
Or just use the equipped cards on
Yeah,
Alpay.
exactly. Like, you can also go for this in the first turn, because in the mirror match, if you go for this, it's destroyed. You go for Metalfoe, and with the combination, you get this from your graveyard, so it's also alright. So double Alcahest. I thought I would play 1, but 2 was much better. I just used the second one once, but like the option, you have mostly more option of fusion summon as of the Synchros Nick Seeds. Like, you don't need them so often, but this is like the main core. As that, like, free Metalfoe is like the best card in the whole deck, which makes your deck so much better, because you play exactly like 4 or 5 Metalfoe spells and traps. And this card recycles all your cards. Like, you get your combinations back with your popped with the eccentric with Kuraz, or just shuffle back something from your opponent to your hand, or yeah, from your own field to your hand. Like, if you go for any Metalfoe card, you destroy something, get a card, just go for this one and send the back card back to your hand, so you can activate again and use the effect once again. So this was really good with the combination. It was perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and the tokens. Okay. That's what.
Okay, would you make any changes afterward?
Yeah, maybe I should play Strikes, because I had a lot of mirror matches and I saw like Strike is really, really good in the mirror match.
Oh,
And yeah, that's why I lost against a team friend, because he played 3 strikes to barrier and he couldn't break his board because of that. Otherwise, like, I can understand the theory why we don't play any traps in the deck, especially the needed ones. It's not that needed, but it's needed. Because like, the deck is really good when you go first. When you go first, you mostly win the game. But if you go second, you need to fix the problems when you go second. And Strike doesn't really fix the problems when you go second, because Strike is a trap card, a kind of slow trap card. And yeah, but still, like, the mirror match was alright, because the first turn isn't that huge. Maybe a Metalfoe with Kareen, that's the maximum most likely. So if I go for my place and house have a Kareen, I stall with my Kareens and just set the Strike, so I can stop his pendulum sum. But yeah, I think beside of Strike, the deck was kind of perfect. Like, this is also a broken card, but also a really risky card, because you can remove your fusions and whatever, like your scales. You have like 6 low scales, it's really low. And yeah, that's it. Deck was
so nearly perfect.
nearly perfect, yeah.
Okay. So Alpay, any last words?
Like the usual thing, thanks to my team Legacy Card Gaming, to Simon Franke, ne Bruder. Yeah, it was like all the same stuff. Like, the team is like the perfect one, just to prove yourself, to have fun with your friends, because like a team helps you to enjoy the game. And without a team, I don't know if I would play this game so active as I do right now, because the team supports you. Like, having cool time at YCS is also really cool. You have something to go with. That's not the game itself, like, it's also the friends as well. And yeah, that's it.
Lovely words.
Sweet, no?
Okay, Alpay, thanks for the profile.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
have a nice day.
You too, bro.